Have you ever noticed that even when you do good, you are the target of envy and hatred? By watching this exclusive video, you will finally understand what makes you special and exceptional, but often hated for no apparent reason. The world is full of events and challenges, and I often wonder why so much hatred is directed at us, the chosen ones. You'll recognize yourself in what I'm about to share in this video. I found out the hard way that being kind to strangers doesn't guarantee affection from them. Listen, people will hate you, despise you, criticize you, and try to put you down, often for no good reason. And if there is a reason, they want to make sure that you feel absolutely inferior to them. Most of the time, they see things in you that you don't have, your great potential. As a chosen one, you can treat people well, but they still won't like you. When you meet people like this, ignore them. They simply don't sympathize with you, especially when something unpleasant happens to them, or when they are going through difficulties. However, when the time comes to leave them behind, resist the temptation. Don't turn your back. Always remember that you are a selfless, self-assured, and compassionate person who can't stand the company of selfish people. If someone hates you for no apparent reason, deep down you know that they are missing out on a wealth of compassion, insight, and high values. Don't let the presence of critics and narcissists stop you from continuing to be kind to others and moving forward. When someone discovers their true potential, they begin to vibrate at a higher frequency and show their true capabilities. This can cause discomfort in people who haven't yet found themselves or who are insecure about their own journeys. This spiritual awakening is often seen as a threat by those who feel stuck or threatened by change. In the spiritual field, recognizing inner potential is seen as a deeper connection with the divine or the pure essence of being. This includes developing natural abilities, increasing intuition, and better understanding one's purpose in life, which makes the chosen ones stand out. This difference can generate envy or hostility from people who see this awakening as a reminder of their own limitations or unresolved fears. The spiritual and personal success of others can be misinterpreted as a judgment on those who are not on the same path, intensifying feelings of hatred and resentment. In short, recognizing inner potential can bring out the insecurities of others, causing them to react negatively instead of seeking their own inner light. The mere fact of being called chosen can make them targets of negativity. This is because many believe that the chosen ones have a special purpose or divine mission. This label can be a source of inspiration and strength for the person, but it can also attract envy and criticism from others. Before moving on with this message, it's important to cut ties with people who are negative, self-centered, or who suck your energy. Often, those closest to you hold deep resentments because they envy what you have. When someone is jealous of who you are, they are just reacting out of human instinct. They harbor a silent grudge because you have qualities that they don't have. Your professional success, your unique style, your different interests, your achievements, or your quiet attitude can make them feel insecure. In many spiritual traditions, it is believed that those with important roles in spiritual development face great challenges. This includes not only external obstacles, but also negative feelings from other people, who may see the chosen ones as a threat to the status quo or a rebuke to their own choices. Those who hate the chosen usually have low self-esteem and don't recognize their own value. They think that people's value is measured by what they have, material goods, personal skills, or appearance, and not by what they really are. So if someone doesn't have what they consider important, they feel inferior. Likewise, if they feel they lack many things, they believe their life is worthless. This negativity can appear as hatred, jealousy, or a desire to see the chosen one fail, which for some would be a way of validating their own insecurities or failures. The fact that they are seen as special or different makes them targets for other people's frustrations, fears, and dissatisfaction. In addition, negativity against the chosen ones can increase in environments that value conformity and mediocrity, where exceptionality is viewed with suspicion or as a challenge to the norm. Thus, the chosen ones carry the weight, not only of their missions, but also of the emotional discomfort of those around them, becoming beacons that, while illuminating, attract the darkness of others. If this bothers you, try asking them in a calm and respectful way what you did to upset them. Often it's just a misunderstanding. Some people get angry if you don't say anything for fear of other people's opinions. If these people are hindering your progress and being unpleasant, it's best to ignore them. Those who are meant to help others can be hated for being too good. Avoid being too good. While it's important to do the right thing, there are other ways of facing life's challenges that can damage your self-esteem. The word hate is often used lightly these days. I want to know why you allow them to treat you badly. If someone acts unpleasantly, I would show them the door, no matter how important they are. You need to be braver and stronger to protect your dignity. Learn to enjoy your own company without feeling uncomfortable. This is much better than being with people who don't like you. The friendliness and authenticity of the chosen ones can attract both admiration and envy. These qualities come naturally to those who are aligned with their spiritual purpose and live honestly and openly. They interact with the world in a genuine way, without pretense or masks, which is generally seen in a positive light. According to spiritual teachings, this purity is the result of many lifetimes of learning and growth, culminating in a presence that is both authentic and attractive. However, authenticity and friendliness can highlight the lack of these qualities in other people. Those who struggle with their own authenticity, or often wear social masks, can feel threatened or exposed by the transparency and sincerity of their chosen ones. This can cause discomfort or even denial, resulting in feelings of hostility or envy. In a spiritual context, these qualities show a deep connection with the higher self and a willingness to relate to others in a compassionate and non-judgmental way. The chosen ones often have a natural empathy that allows them to understand and connect deeply with the pains and joys of others. For those around them who have not yet reached such a level of self-acceptance or spiritual awareness, this empathy can be a constant reminder of their own perceived shortcomings. So while the sympathy and authenticity of the chosen ones are sources of light and inspiration, these same qualities can highlight aspects that others would prefer to keep hidden, generating negative rather than positive reactions. There will be times in life when you simply have nothing in common with someone who doesn't like you. This has happened to me both at work and in my personal life, even though I haven't done anything to deserve anyone's resentment. I always notice when I enter a hostile environment. Although it's unfair, I understand why people feel this way, but often there's nothing we can do about it. I practice meditation and recite my mindfulness affirmations to keep these thoughts at bay. I ask God to grant me the serenity to accept what I cannot change, the courage to change what is within my power, and the wisdom to recognize the difference. For example, in a former work position, there was a colleague who constantly criticized me, even though I was doing my best. Instead of confronting him, I used meditation and affirmations to maintain my inner peace. Another example was in a social circle, where a friend always seemed to find something wrong with what I was doing. Over time, I realized that his criticisms were more about his own insecurities than about my actions. I think some mindfulness affirmations and meditation can help you if you find it difficult to let go of past failures and toxic relationships. No matter what you do, some people will always find fault. It's not worth your effort to try to please everyone in every circumstance. Many people probably despise you because of their own envy or pessimism. Those who doubt you should be ignored as much as possible because you are innocent, and everyone has experienced doubt at some point. It's always been them, never you. They will react with hostility if you trigger their fears by doing something they are afraid to do or can't even understand. They may not actively hate you, but a part of them will, because it's easy to interpret your actions as selfish. For example, if you decide to change careers to follow your passion, some may criticize you for leaving a stable job. They may project their own fears and insecurities onto you, questioning your decision. In situations like this, staying mindful and focused on your goals is crucial if you don't want to be shaken by other people's criticism. It's not about you. It's their internal struggle, and they alone are responsible for their own formation. It's a common mistake to think that we have little influence because of this. It may seem pointless, but perhaps your behavior bothers those whose beliefs are different from yours. As I'm short of time, I'll be blunt. The way you choose your words carefully, the confidence you show in your actions, the security in your posture, and the question of whether they despise you because of that confidence. Nothing you do will help. They have to deal with it themselves. People who don't feel good about themselves often feed on their own unhappiness and self-pity. On my first day as a volunteer in a community organization, I noticed that one of the other volunteers didn't like me, and I didn't do anything to change the situation. Whenever I pass him, I'm greeted with indifference. I try to keep my distance, which probably annoys him even more. Knowing that so many people don't like me is painful, but it also strengthens my confidence. They don't like you because they don't like themselves, so you should ignore them and move on with confidence. You can achieve anything you want in this world, and criticism from others can serve as fuel for your motivation. For example, on a recent project, I was criticized by a colleague who was clearly annoyed by my innovative approach. Instead of letting it get me down, I used the criticism as an opportunity to refine my ideas and prove my worth. Another example was in a study group, where a member constantly belittled my contributions. I realized that he felt threatened by my knowledge, so I stayed focused on my goals and ignored his negative comments. If you want my help, I can identify a specific type of problem, but ultimately it's up to you to take charge of your life. Even if you haven't done anything wrong, some people will find you annoying anyway. They are angry and ashamed because you have shown them that they were wrong about the fundamentals of life, and your existence serves as living proof of their failings. For example, at a conference, one person verbally attacked me because she couldn't cope with the success I was having. Instead of confronting her, I used her hostility as a reminder that my work was making a difference. In another case, a neighbor always criticized my choice of healthy lifestyle, probably because he felt insecure about his own choices. I kept my focus and continued to live according to my values, without letting myself be influenced by his negative opinions. If this happens once, it's better to be stronger and just let them go, because you can't make someone wake up if you're pretending to sleep. Perhaps you haven't yet fully grasped the gravity of the situation, but it's you who should be awake now. I'm sorry that you still feel hated, even though you've done nothing to deserve this hostility. Then you've come to the right place, because you probably can't or shouldn't try to change the reason for this enmity. Think positively and love yourself more. Implicit prejudice and misunderstanding can be deeply influenced by memories and experiences from past lives, as described by various spiritual teachings. Souls carry memories and traumas from previous incarnations, affecting their interactions and perceptions in subsequent lives. In this context, the chosen ones can be misunderstood or face prejudice due to resonances of past experiences that others have with them, even if unconsciously. These resonances can generate negative reactions based not only on current interactions, but on deeply rooted conflicts or prejudices that transcend time and space. For example, if in a past life, an individual had a negative experience with someone who is now, in another life, recognized as a chosen one, there may be a predisposition to resentment or mistrust, regardless of that person's current behavior. These feelings are reinforced and complicated by implicit prejudices that are formed not only due to direct experiences, but also by the cultural, social, and spiritual influence accumulated over several lifetimes. In addition, spiritual teachings suggest that the chosen ones often have missions that involve breaking old patterns and introducing new paradigms, which can be fertile ground for misunderstandings. They can be seen as going against established norms or as threats to the existing order, simply because they are aligned with purposes that challenge the conventional. Thus, implicit prejudice and misunderstandings are significantly aggravated by the complexity of soul memories and past life influences, making the chosen ones targets of adverse reactions that are often enigmatic and deeply rooted in histories that transcend the common understanding of time and individuality. On the spiritual journey, the difference between light and darkness is important for growth. The chosen ones, because they are connected to the light, end up highlighting the darkness around them, which often leads to resistance and hatred from those who are not yet ready to accept the light. This shows the importance of the spiritual work of the chosen ones, who often help to transform both themselves and others. The presence of the chosen ones, aligned with the light, not only reflects their own virtues, but also illuminates the dark areas around them. The resistance and hatred they face can be seen as the natural reactions of those who are trapped in patterns of darkness, whether through fear, ignorance, or attachment to old ways of being. The light of the chosen ones challenges these patterns, provoking a defensive reaction that often manifests itself as antagonism or rejection. However, this struggle between light and darkness creates opportunities for spiritual growth. For example, a chosen one can be the target of negativity at work because of their integrity and honesty. These qualities can highlight the flaws and insecurities of colleagues, generating resentment and hostility. In another case, a chosen one in a community may face opposition for advocating positive changes that challenge the status quo, which can be seen as a threat by those who benefit from the old ways of being. The chosen ones, by facing negativity, not only strengthen their own strengths and resilience, but also make others think and question their own lives. Through their actions, they encourage those around them to reconsider their choices. This process, although often uncomfortable and challenging, is vital for overcoming old limitations and aligning with higher spiritual paths. Therefore, even though they face resistance, the role of the chosen ones is fundamental, not only for their own spiritual growth, but also for the advancement of collective consciousness. The chosen ones often have a presence that stands out and leaves a lasting impression on those around them. This presence can manifest as a peaceful calm, a serene confidence, or a vibrant energy that seems to light up any environment. Spiritually, this presence is often seen as a sign of divine connection, or as an expression of the inner light that everyone possesses, but not everyone shows. This spiritual glow makes the chosen ones perceived as special or different, attracting both admiration and envy. For example, imagine a person who always seems to be at peace, regardless of the circumstances. Their calm can attract people looking for comfort and inspiration. However, those who struggle with their own anxieties may feel jealous of this tranquility, seeing it as a painful reflection of their own insecurities. Another example is someone who has unshakable confidence in their actions and decisions. This confidence can be inspiring for many, but it can also arouse resentment in those who feel insecure or indecisive. Instead of being inspired to strengthen their own abilities, these people can project their frustrations onto those they have chosen, resulting in feelings of hostility. People who feel lost on their spiritual journeys can see the light of the chosen ones as an uncomfortable reminder of their own flaws or shadows. This contrast can generate envy and resentment, because instead of striving to find their own light, they may blame the chosen ones for their frustrations, expressing this in the form of hatred. The resilience and determination of the chosen ones are deeply spiritual characteristics that highlight their advanced journey. These individuals often face great adversity and challenges that test their strength and faith, but they emerge from these situations with renewed wisdom and strength. This resilience is not just passively surviving. It is an active choice to follow a path of spiritual growth, even if it means facing painful obstacles or misunderstandings. The chosen one's determination to follow their purpose in life by staying true to their spiritual beliefs can be seen as a threat by those who prefer the security of complacency or who feel insecure about their own abilities to face similar challenges. The ability of the chosen ones to persist, turn adversity into learning, and keep moving forward in their mission can provoke envy and resentment in others. For example, imagine a person who faces a serious illness with courage and a positive attitude. Their resilience can inspire many, but it can also cause resentment in others who struggle to cope with their own difficulties. Another example is someone who, despite numerous financial difficulties, continues to pursue their dream with unwavering faith. Their determination can highlight a lack of perseverance in others, generating feelings of envy and anger. These negative reactions often reflect the discomfort some people feel when they see someone facing challenges with courage and faith, reminding them of their own unresolved struggles or reluctance to change. So, my friends, the chosen ones are hated and admired because they don't belong to this world. As the Lord said in John, "If you were of the world would love what was yours. But because you are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hates you." God's rejection of those who are of the world generates envy and hatred towards those who have been chosen by Him. It's not the chosen one's fault that they were chosen. The hatred they face actually reflects feelings of opposition against the Lord who chose them. The chosen stand out because they no longer belong to this world. They were of the world, but now they are of God. Conscious faith provides spiritual authority over all evil, an authority that not all Christians possess, as many have yet to define themselves between the kingdom of the world and the kingdom of God. In the world, they try to reconcile their Christian faith with the idolatry of family, money, fashion, and moral corruption, which corrupts and nullifies their faith. The chosen are hated because they are firm and determined. They know what they want, and they don't give up. They don't align themselves with darkness, because light doesn't mix with darkness, making it impossible for God's chosen ones to unite with darkness. If you liked this video and found it useful, please like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel.